need to talk to my brothers, those who believe in Christ, who also share my skin color. There are chains we need to break. There are chains, serious chains we need to break. We need a new wineskin for this new wine that is coming. Otherwise, it's gonna mean nothing. Jesus is gonna arrive and we're gonna think it's this guy over here. This is not my Jesus. Is this your Jesus? This isn't my Jesus. Let's talk Charlie KIRK. Let me start with Chris Adwar. Chris Adwar posted something. Chris Adwar said, just get into this rabbit hole. We'll post results. Post results. So I wonder if he means he's going to do like a poll or something. So he says, I'm convinced most of the people expressing hatred for Charlie KIRK are going by the viral video snippets they've seen online. They haven't bothered to fact check for context. Let's begin there, actually. People expressing hatred for Charlie KIRK are wrong. Period. Yeah, people celebrating someone's death, you're wrong. I think that's pretty objective. So he says, I doubt they'd sit through his podcasts or even his debate videos. I doubt this because a person might sit through a debate where their pet motion is being argued by their favorite debaters, but rarely so when the star of the debate is someone they dislike arguing against this pet motion, especially if it's an interview and not an actual debate. Now, what I find interesting about us as human beings, by the way, all of us, myself included, this conversation included, is we really look at things from our biased point of view, and then we follow by justifying it. So I always say you had better start by really being convinced about a good thing, because I think we all do it. And I can see Chris is already doing it here because it's true. People will sit and watch Charlie, and because they dislike him, they will disagree with him. But what you're already doing is, and what I am already doing, is setting the foundation to make the point based on what you already believe, right? For example, let's take F1. He says, oh, chat. Are you gonna forgive me? For example, let's take F1. If you like Red Bull and I like Mercedes, you probably wouldn't waste your time watching my team principal in an interview defending the improvements made on our car, even though you might watch it if your team principal were also there arguing as to why FIA should ban the DAS steering that's giving us an unfair advantage. I hope that example makes sense. It does not. I am completely oblivious about what that is, but I can translate it in football terms and it will make sense then. Likewise, I don't believe a woke Kenyan. And this is the point I'm making. You're assuming that everybody who is, so people who are celebrating, that's something else. But you presume that everybody who is saying that I do not agree with the way Charlie KIRK lived his life and the things that he did, and I do not believe that he was a representation of Jesus, you have already put them in a box that you yourself have created in your mind of, oh, this is the group of people who are against Charlie. And so now you are arguing from that perspective. And again, I am saying that knowing that I am also doing the same with something that I am probably not seeing right now. So feel free to point it out. A woke Kenyan is spending their time watching KIRK's interviews and podcasts attentively enough to declare him a hateful, racist bigot. Now, let me be clear. Charlie KIRK's rhetoric was racist, it was hateful, and it was bigoted. Just because he would package it in niceness. I was once in a relationship where I would tell the girl, the woman, don't, like, there's a way you talk, like moderate your. And she would always tell me, okay, I'm going to learn how to be soft. And I'd say, I don't need you to be soft. I just need you to be kind. There's a difference between being soft and being kind. You can be very firm in a very kind way. You can tell someone an absolute no without choosing the absolute worst way to say it. I don't know how that connects. This is going very badly for me if I am making a debate here, if I am making an argument, sorry. But just because he would put it softly, doesn't mean it was kind. Right? Just because he wouldn't hurl insults at people. I'm going to give a good example. I have seen today a guy saying, this is the guy you're calling racist. He doesn't even believe in race. And the video is of Charlie talking about how it has been scientifically proven that we are fundamentally the same. Like at DNA level, we are the same. You don't need to tell me that, right? But I also have to ask, why is he saying that? He's saying that because he has a point that he wants to prove. That there is no reason why a black person would say that I am disenfranchised because there is systemic discrimination against me, or because there are things that have happened to me because I am black. He wants to create the platform where we are all the same, we have the same opportunity. That is the place where he's coming from. But he's fronting it as we are fundamentally the same. So you are saying he's not racist, he does not even believe in race. You're missing the whole point. A majority of the clips I've seen making the rounds have been refuted by simply being put in context. So let's take the one where he talks about, I really hope I can find it on YouTube, where he talks about black women, because that is the one that has been really used. Black women don't have the brain processing power. That's kind of yeah, it's being fact checked. Okay, I'm sorry, I've clicked. The young tags are very, but I don't know how do I find one that is not leaning on either side? Okay, let's see. My bad. Why is it muted over here?
Let's keep going.
Racist. But now they're coming out and...
You can answer yes or no in the comment section. Did he name all 4 women just then and there? He named all 4 women. Did he say black women? Keep that in mind. Did he say black women? Okay, let's keep going.
Racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us.
I'm sorry, I think that part has already passed. It's in a previous part of the video, which whoever cut this bit, I don't know. So, but the context was he named 4 women, all of them holding really high positions of power in the United States. And he said that they didn't deserve being in those positions. They went and took a white man's place because they themselves do not have the brain processing power to actually be in those positions. Now, did he say that black women have no brain processing power? Because that's the argument I have seen. Where did he say it word for word? Really, that's how you want us to have arguments. Is like, did he say it word for word? Just because he has plausible deniability, and then in the next statement he went and said Jesus, Jesus. So now he's not racist. He's just unapologetically standing for the truth. You pick 4 people of a certain category, you describe them in a demeaning way, and say that they took the places of white men. Or what did he say? He took white men's place. That bit is there. I wish I would find that video. What is he saying? And what do you mean? So when you put it in context, when you say it's been put in context, how is that context making it better? In fact, it makes it worse because it presumes that people do not have that brain processing power to see through that nonsense. And then Chris says, that said, like he's negating everything else that he had said up until that point. Oh, by the way, I have no beef with Chris Adwar. It sounds like I have a lot of beef. I do not have. I have beef with his post, but I do not have any beef with Chris Adwar. Not that it would mean anything to him, I suspect. But that said, celebration that a man was killed in full view of the world is wild. I agree with that, but I don't see why you're saying that said, because it just follows with everything, especially when Christians are also caught up in such celebration. We really should check ourselves. What was this bit here? I feel like I have said a lot of what I wanted to say about this situation. Is for me. Oh, yeah, this is a good.
How are you?
Let's watch this.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night. Okay, 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me, MAGA apparel, everything, you know. And then
Did they say this is MAGA country?
That's your Jesus person. Jesus would not do that. Don't tell me. Objectively, the Jesus I had known and I have read, he wouldn't do that. Do you know who Jesus' crowd was? Thieves and tax collectors. That was Jesus' crowd in his day. Now, those are 2 professions which comparatively today, vis-a-vis back then, have been for the most part sanitized comparatively is what I mean. So I think to give it context and give a more equivalent of our day, if Jesus was living today, right, I think he would be hanging out with like thugs, felons, and porn stars, right? That would be Jesus' crew. If he followed the same pattern of what he did back then, today, that would be his crew. So don't tell me that Jesus would respond the way he's responding here, speaking truth. That's not love. That's not love. You just because he finds a way to be calm about it and he's not gonna say, although he would use some derogatory terms with other groups of people. I don't know how that is Jesus-like. For me, here's my conclusion on it. His eternal fate is in God's hand. It's not up to me to say Charlie Kirk is with God or not with God. I don't know. God knows. But don't tell me that I cannot judge how he lived his life on earth. I can look at it and say he was not doing the things that Jesus would do. Absolutely not. I do not agree with that. He was not doing the things that Jesus would do. And I feel sad because it is mostly us who, by the way, if it was me who got shot, Charlie Kirk right now would have a justification if it made the news. He'd be talking about, oh, black on black, that's normal, it happens. He would be. So it's sad for me to see that while we have, and listen, you want to mourn whoever, you have the right, you have the freedom, it's on you. But there are many more people that we can also mourn. Notice I say also, that we can also mourn. I notice how it's so absent amongst us Christians. These Christians that Chris Adwar is talking about. We don't talk about villages being wiped out in Sudan in a day. I saw Tai Ngashira post something about that the other day. A woman was strung up on a tree by RSF soldiers in Sudan. a modern day lynching. Nah, we don't talk about that. It's a black skin. It's black skin. We don't talk about that. I used to fight with my friends who, my Christian friends who are saying, why are people saying kneeling? Why do we have to say? I went on a tangent I didn't want to go on. But I think we have to break chains. We have to break chains. And the reason why I told you to not expect me to align with the things you say is because I know everybody is going to fight me. When I'm with the Christians, they will fight me because I will talk some things that they will not be happy with. When I'm with the non-Christians, I'm going to say things they're not going to be happy with. I personally believe there's a statement that we used to say in that church that I was talking about where I used to go. We would say that the ark of God is moving south. The ark of the covenant in the Old Testament signified the presence of God. Where the ark of the covenant was, incredible, immeasurable blessings always followed. And we would always say the ark of God is moving south. Moving south, south in this case being the global south. So we're talking Africa, Asia, South America. I strongly believe that our day is coming. Is actually here. It's actually here. But I need to talk to my brothers, those who believe in Christ, who also share my skin color. There are chains we need to break. There are chains, serious chains we need to break. We need a new wineskin for this new wine that is coming. Otherwise, it's gonna mean nothing. Jesus is gonna arrive and we are gonna think it's this guy over here. This is not my Jesus. Is this your Jesus? This isn't my Jesus.